It's still gonna give me feedback. I barely found the power button. Hmm. No, no. Oh, they added it. That's if they want to talk. That link is if they want to talk.
But they'll be able to.
They can hear us. Like right now, Kia is in the studio, but I didn't add them to the stream. So I think you might want to have another link unless they want to come in and talk. I can add them if they want to talk. Well, if any of them want to talk, just tell them that, we can bring them in. So under here is where I found the power. Hello. Hello. I think that's it. Down from here. Thank you. Okay.
Now one's facing you and one's facing your shoulder.
I'm confused. How is that giving? Oh, my camera here.
I doubt one out.
Shelby, I can't see.
So that's what it's here.
I can see you over there.
Yeah.
I guess I don't need to have my side to open the corner. Is there any way I can move that over here so it's not in their way?
Yeah, Kevin, and then you could.
Like, use me, yo. Use me.
I don't need it in the side. I want to put it in front.
Okay.
I'm not got you. I couldn't see all the way in there. And I don't have COVID. I'm boosted full time.
Thank you.
Good. Taller.
That's I still hear feedback. Hey, you guys. Sorry, had a little technical difficulty. Can you guys hear us? Oh, no.
I was gonna say they can't talk unless they turn their mics on.
I just
And
don't
then
know
the
if they can
phone
hear
is like
us.
right in front of your face.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we got to back that up. So.
That's us to back it up.
We got to back that up. So I hear the feedback. It's the feedback from something, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is it the feedback from my phone? I know I'm driving everyone crazy.
Right now.
What about now?
Yep.
Say testing. What about? I can't hear.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Check it now, Nicole. Nicole, check it now.
Nicole, can you hear us?
We can still see.
Is there feedback?
You can hear us, we know, but does it have feedback on it? Yes, no? Nicole? No feedback.
No feedback?
No feedback.
Awesome.
Thank you.
They were advertising Kentucky, but if you're fine with it, Kentucky Fried Chicken is being advertised.
Where?
We do chicken,
On your
right?
cup.
Oh. I'm like, where?
Since they're not paying you.
You're right. Okay, cool. So we sound great. All right, you guys. Sorry for the delay. Well, actually, we're right on time. We were starting at 8. But here I go. Get this.
Nice.
When I see
you
you,
trying to be in it or not in it? Because we can see you.
Our mics
Oh, you
are,
see me?
our mics are all over.
I sit over here in the corner.
Everybody.
everyone here.
What's up, bro?
Okay.
Get too much.
Awesome.
Keep on.
Sorry for the delay, you guys. It's your girl, Only Heather, and we're here today. We're going to talk about mental health and how mental health actually matters. I have a few guests here with me today, and they're going to share their expertise on mental health, and we're going to just go from there. Y'all know I always start this off a little bit rocky, and I'm a little hoarse. I actually just got back today from Orlando, so I had too much fun, but I didn't want to let anyone down. You guys asked for the show, so guess what? I'm going to make it happen, so we're here. Let me start by introducing our guests, these lovely ladies here in the camera. To my right, we have Mika. Mika, you can introduce yourself.
I'm Mika, Miss Mika Empowerment. I'm a mother of 2, United States Marine Corps veteran, a business owner, was a personal trainer. Right now, I'm a mental health counselor in Falls Church, Virginia, and a school counselor in Glendale, Maryland. And I'm originally from Kansas, but I currently now have been in DC for about 3 months.
Thank you. Beside Mika, we have Miss Sunshine Aces.
Hi, I'm Sunshine Aces. I'm a nudist and lifestyle advocate. I'm also incorporated. My company is Sunshine Aces LLC. I teach people how to live freer lives. I also have a very professional career, and I like the world.
And thank you, Sunshine. And besides Sunshine, we have Shelby.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be with these ladies. Wow. My name is Shelby Casey Thompson. I'm a wife, a mom, a mentor. I do cryptocurrency full time, and I teach women cryptocurrency. My purpose and passion is helping people stay mentally well, right? So mental wellness is what I do. My husband and I opened up a nonprofit in 2015 called Breathe for mental wellness and suicide prevention. And it's now an LLC, and we do workshops to help people stay mentally well.
Okay.
And I'm a Virginia girl, but currently live in Maryland. Yeah, born and raised in VA.
That's still part of the DMV. That's all.
Exactly.
Yep, that's the V. All right. So I was asked by a few friends to do a mental health show. I did one a while back where I talked about like narcissism and some types of abuse. But I actually had some gentlemen reach out and they're like, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? So I was like, sure. It's not really often that men reach out and want to talk, let alone talk about mental health. So like I said, I'm giving people what they want. When you think of the word mental health, like what does that mean to you? Anyone?
Several different things. What you're saying to yourself, what are you hearing people say to you, and how you interpret it. Because a lot of people, you're saying one thing, but they encode another thing because they've been, let's say, pulled a certain way or a different way. And I think that's why, especially in our Black community, a lot of people do not believe in mental health in a positive way because it's been so bad.
Everyone
Do I need to
knows
speak
it.
politically correct?
No.
Okay, because I'm crazy as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Thank
you know
goodness.
it's my show. You
Crazy
know how
as
it goes.
crazy.
It is. I am proud of being crazy because if I wasn't crazy, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, especially in this area. Mental health is very near and dear to me. One of my closest friends is not with me. currently and hasn't been for months due to mental health issues.
Mhm.
So I'm not crazy mental, but I'm crazy living life. So I tend to put the mental shit to the side and focus on the things that I can actually change. But everybody can't do that. So I appreciate the support for our community. We don't talk about it, so I was really happy to be here that you're going to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So to me, mental health is the same as like physical health. It has to be managed, right? So your physical health, your spiritual health, all of these components need to be managed, and they're going to go up and down throughout your life. And as these ladies said, historically, it's been something that's been like folks think you can pray it off. You know, if you're not mentally well, you're mentally unstable for a moment. It doesn't have to be something permanent. It can be temporary. It can be triggered, and it just has to be managed. It can be managed through a number of ways that we can talk about tonight. But you know, as times change and circumstances change in your life, having a healthy uh, outlet and a healthy outlook on it will help you, and not just everybody can't just. There's a chemical component to it for sure, and there's also a mind strength component to it as well. So managing those two things is what mental health really means to me.
I like how she said about praying about it. In the past couple of months, I've seen a lot of preachers say, get yourself a mental health counselor. I have a counselor. God created these counselors to help us become better. So I like that you said that, because it is growing.
Right, because in most cases, our parents say, some people say, "Oh, we'll just pray about it and leave it at that." But does that really mean you're dealing with it?
Right.
It's like, I mean, it's your issue. You're leaving it in God's hand. I get it.
Yeah.
God will handle it. But what are you doing to help yourself in that situation?
Absolutely.
So now I'm glad you guys brought that up as well.
And everything should be a balance, and I think we often forget about that. It's just like your diet or your partying or your drinking or whatever things you do to deal with your everyday. It should always be an equal balance. And mental health has a lot to do with how balanced you can stay. Quality of life.
I agree. So I wanted to discuss some types of mental health. I mean, there's different types, and making my list, I feel like I may have mixed it up with abuse, but it all kind of goes together. Some people wanted to talk about postpartum depression. I mean, we all have children here at the table, so we know how that can be. Um, I may have dealt with postpartum, but I don't know. I deal with stress all the time, so I don't know if they was getting on my nerves because I was stressed, or if they was getting on my nerves because they were here. I don't know what the situation is, but I've come across a few women who they had postpartum depression, but then it turned into something else because the other parent wasn't active. So now it's like the plan was for us to be together and to raise this child together. And now I have this child here, and you're not here with me, so I don't care to really raise this child.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that's a form of postpartum depression. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tackle that, Heather, because postpartum, my first experience with it was I lost a child in 1997, and I gave birth to a stillborn child at like 6 months, and it really took me in a tailspin. I was kind of raised by the Huxtables, so to speak. I didn't really have any childhood trauma. My life was kind of cushioned by my brother and my parents, and so I went to high school, graduated from high school, went to college, got married, bought a house, planned for a baby, and then kaboom! I have a baby that is no longer a baby, right? No longer here. And so after that experience, I really didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what to do with my emotions, and my marriage fell apart. So I literally lost my child. I lost my marriage. I lost my career. because I was a teacher and I didn't want to teach other people's children when I couldn't have my own. And so I was really left in a dark state, like no husband. And my husband and I dealt with it completely different. Like he didn't have little bones inside of him and
Right.
feeding from it. So he dealt with it in a way that was different than I did. And that was very hard to deal with. So my first experience with postpartum was in a traumatic way due to a death. Then 20 years later, when I actually had my child that is living, I had a little bit of postpartum because I was up all night watching this one to make sure nothing happened to him, watching him like a hawk, and just questioning whether I was good enough to have this job of being a mom. And drove my own self crazy this time. Last time it was not by choice. This time it was like I was driving myself crazy. But I was mentally health educated by that time. And it lasted for about 2 months and then it was done. And I think that is the key to
Sorry.
that's okay. People are there.
They're gonna full view.
Get the full view.
I'm telling you.
But I just think my first time around, I had no experience with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was happening. And then my second time around, because I was educated about postpartum and educated about mental health, it was much smoother and I was able to get through it fast. So that's my personal story with postpartum.
Okay. Thank you for that. Did anyone want to share anything else about postpartum? I'm just gonna throw some topics out there and whatever.
I've had, as a new clinician, had clients, a couple of clients that had dealt with that from the opposite. One had lost the father right before the child was born, so she was more missing her husband and didn't want to take care of the child. And then I had one that was didn't want the child, but didn't not want to have the child, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when the baby was here, it was like no one was ready to adopt, or something happened within the adoption part, and so she ended up keeping the baby, and it just kind of went downhill. So that was like right in the beginning of my start last year. So it is, I did have to explain it's a chemical imbalance, or people take things differently, and you have to be empathetic on what they're going through. Being heard, being loved, and being seen in any type of trauma
Exactly.
you're going through. So.
And then when it's postpartum, you're not only you're got chemical, but it's hormonally imbalanced.
Yes.
And you're dealing with kind of grieving of your old self. You miss your old body.
Mm-hmm.
You realize like, oh, my life is not going to be the way that it was just a day ago. I might have been able to do this or do that. I remember when I got home, I was like, this is, I remember thinking to myself, like, nobody told me it was going to be like this. I'm dripping out of every hole. What is happening?
Oh my goodness.
Like everything is like, this is, I mean,
That's your part, jump in.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, this is not good. How's this? I'm walking around shirtless. I'm nursing. I'm nursing my wounds from everywhere. This was like, hold on, no one prepared me for all that was going on. And my body was all out of shape, out of whack. I was crying for no reason.
Emotional stress.
I'm weeping for no reason. So